Hello friends, how are you all today? I'm going to discuss a very important topic. Actually, I've already been covering this topic recently, but let's also analyze the images that went viral yesterday, where Indian Prime Minister Mr. Modi is seen posing confidently with an S-400 missile launcher in the background, which are being used to mislead the innocent Indian public. And friends, proof of the death of the S-400 operator will also be shown later in the video. Also, we'll analyze a recent article published by The Telegraph, a British news agency that I follow closely, regarding the alleged shoot-down of an Indian Rafale jet. The Indian Prime Minister visited Adam Air Base in Indian Punjab. There, he met with military personnel, delivered a speech, and posed for photos, making sure that the S-400 system was visible in the background. The goal was to show the Indian public that the S-400 system, which Pakistan claimed to have destroyed, is still intact, implying that Pakistan's claim was false. Now, honestly, I don't know who advised the Prime Minister to do this. Whoever it was must not have been very wise. Instead of clarifying the situation, this move has backfired. But first, let's understand one thing clearly. The S-400 system that Pakistan claims to have destroyed and the one standing behind the Indian Prime Minister in those photos are not the same. There's a significant difference between the two, and we'll break that down in this video. Actually, the S-400 air defense system is made up of 6 key components. Let me explain them one by one. First is the command and control center. This is the hub you see in the image where the S-400 operators sit. From here, the incoming missiles, projectiles, or enemy fighter jets are detected, and decisions are made regarding which type of interceptor missiles should be launched. This unit essentially acts as the brain of the system. Second is the long-range surveillance radar, known as the 91N6E Big Bird, sometimes also referred to as the Tombstone radar. This is the main radar of the S-400 system and can detect incoming targets up to 600 kilometers away. It is an AESA, active electronically scanned array radar. Remember this point because it will become important later in the discussion. Next, we have the fire control and tracking radar, officially called the 92N6E Gravestone radar. This radar locks onto targets approaching from the front and provides guidance to the interceptor missiles launched from the S-400. It plays a critical role in ensuring the missile hits its target and has a range of about 400 kilometers along with high-altitude detection capabilities. Then comes the altitude acquisition radar, named 96L6E. This is an optional component of the system and is particularly effective at detecting targets at various altitudes. Another important radar is the 40V6M, which you might have seen mounted like a tall tower in some images. This radar is specialized for detecting low-flying targets such as cruise missiles and loitering munitions. However, it doesn't have a very long range. So far, that makes 4 radars: 91N6E Big Bird, 92N6E Gravestone, 96L6E Altitude Radar, and 40V6M Tower Radar. And with the command and control center, that brings us to 5 components. After that, we come to the launcher truck, which is the same vehicle seen in the background of the Indian Prime Minister's recent photos. This launcher truck carries 4 missile tubes, and each tube can be loaded with a missile of a different range, from 40 kilometers to 400 kilometers. These launch vehicles are the 6th main component of the S-400 system. In addition to the main launchers, there is also a separate reload vehicle that carries spare missiles. A full S-400 unit typically includes 8 such launcher trucks, giving the system the ability to fire up to 32 missiles simultaneously. Within this entire setup, the 2 most critical pieces of equipment are the 91N6E Big Bird radar and the 92N6E Gravestone radar. These are the core of the S-400 system, without which the system cannot detect or engage threats. Now, according to satellite images previously shown by Pakistan's Air Marshal, the missile strike targeted the Big Bird radar and the command and control center, not the launcher truck. This distinction is crucial because destroying the command center and main radars essentially paralyzes the entire S-400 system, rendering the launcher trucks ineffective. Moreover, the missile used, the CM-400 AKG, is a hypersonic missile equipped with an active radar seeker, meaning it can autonomously seek and lock onto active radar emissions from systems like the S-400. That's exactly how the missile likely homed in on the Big Bird radar. Defense analyst Christopher Clary has also pointed this out. In any strike against advanced air defense systems like the S-400, the radars and command centers are the primary targets, not the missile launchers. He even sarcastically remarked that the radar and command center might have been present in some other images, subtly dismissing claims based solely on the launcher survival. In fact, Christopher Clary also shared a post showing how Ukraine successfully destroyed the command center of a Russian S-400 system, further reinforcing that targeting the radar and control components is a standard military tactic, not an isolated claim. And the Indian Prime Minister very proudly displayed the missile launcher tubes as if to say, "Look, nothing happened to the S-400." But in reality, a single S-400 system consists of 8 to 12 such launcher trucks. If they really wanted to prove something, they should have shown the entire S-400 system. Why mislead the public? Now let's look at some proof, and these are facts that no Indian can deny. First, watch this video. It's from a local Indian news channel.
एक और लाल ने अपने देश के लिए जान लुटा दी। भारत पाकिस्तान के बीच सीज फायर उल्लंघन में बिहार के एक लाल शहीद हो गए। बता दें कि सिवान के रहने वाले राम बाबू सिंह एयर डिफेंस सिस्टम S-400 ऑपरेट करते थे। जब इनकी शहादत की खबरें मिली तो सबकी आंखें नम हो गई।
They report that Rambabu Singh, an S-400 operator, was killed during the Indo-Pak conflict. They also say he died due to a bullet injury near the border. But what would an S-400 operator be doing at the border? The S-400 is normally deployed at least 100 kilometers inside the territory in secure locations. It's also extremely difficult to detect such a system. So I don't think any Indian can call this news fake anymore. Even Indian media has confirmed that S-400 operator Rambabu Singh has died. Systems like the S-400 are extremely hard to find, and that's why they are usually targeted using active radar seeker missiles, such as hypersonic missiles. China has given Pakistan the CM-400 AKG, and it is also being reported that Pakistan is manufacturing it locally, with some modifications to enhance its capabilities. There's also news emerging that Pakistan conducted an exercise to destroy the S-400 during the 2023 Indus Shield air exercise. Pakistan regularly carries out such exercises in coordination with China and Turkey. As you know, both China and Turkey operate the S-400 system, and they are among Pakistan's closest allies. Additionally, Tim Sheehy, a U.S. senator, stated that Pakistan wins every engagement against India by using Chinese equipment, while India uses primarily Western gear. He added that Chinese equipment outperforming Western systems is alarming for the West. You can verify this news yourself. And here's another small but important piece of proof. A European defense website reported that the destruction of the S-400 was the most significant event of the recent Indo-Pak conflict. So friends, this was a proof-based analysis. And now I don't think any of my Indian friends can come into the comments and claim that this is fake news or propaganda. The fact that an S-400 operator was killed during the conflict and on the very same day that Pakistan launched a CM-400 AKG missile strike proves that, at the very least, the command center of the S-400 system was destroyed. Do share your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for today's update. Please subscribe and like this video.